Hello guys, hello YouTube, Mango Bowers here. Now, as promised in my introductory video, I was going to do a movie review of The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Christain Bale, Heath Ledger, and Aaron Eckhart. Now, I have not seen much of Christopher Nolan's work before, because, I didn't hear of the guy until I watched these Batman movies, and let me just say that I think on both of these movies, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, he's done an outstanding job on them. I enjoyed them both thoroughly from beginning to end. So that pretty much explains what I thought of Batman Begins. I thought it was a good start to the series, and it explained Bruce Wayne's origin story perfectly, and set up good action sequences, and the story was really moving as well. So anyway, now into the Dark Knight review. So first of all, I'm going to tell you the plot of the film before I tell you what I thought of it. Well, you pretty much guessed what I thought of it, but anyway. The plot of the film. Christian Bale, Bruce Wayne Batman, is trying to clean up the streets of Gotham for good with the aid of Lieutenant Gordon and recently approved District Attorney Harvey Dent, in making the criminals stop what they're doing, basically. And Harvey Dent comes in on the scene, and Batman thinks that Harvey Dent's doing a better job than he is, which is good for him because he wants to be with Rachel Dawes, the woman he truly loved, as expressed at the end of Batman Begins. But obviously a quote by Rachel Dawes at the end of Batman Begins was that maybe someday when Gotham no longer needs Batman, I'll see Bruce Wayne again and go out with him. Not quite the right quote, but there you go. So basically, he wants to be with Rachel, and therefore that way, he's hoping Harvey Dent will take over and become a better person to deal with this. Then Heath Ledger's Joker comes in, creates chaos and havoc in Gotham, and the rest of the film basically is Batman trying to stop the Joker before everything becomes out of control. So that's the basic plot of the movie. Now I'm going to start out by saying that I thought that plot was really well thought out, and it was really moving to see, because it sets up good action sequences, and it just has a really good story. I found it entertaining to watch, and I wasn't bored throughout the movie as I watched it. So, because I saw this movie on its opening day anyway, and it was pretty packed for a 10:30 AM showing, but that's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, acting-wise, the movie was really, really good. I found that Christian Bale made a really good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman, despite a lot of people's criticism about his voice, how it's been really low. But, I didn't have a problem with that, considering that he is trying to disguise his voice so no one knows that Bruce Wayne is actually Batman. I think it was needed, and if he just did his normal voice, everyone would guess straight away that he's Batman. Anyway, the other actors, like Gary Oldman, Aaron Eckhart, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, they did a good job on their roles. I just think I felt for their characters, and they were really moving to see. Maggie Gyllenhaal carries on as Rachel Dawes from Katie Holmes, and she does actually quite a good job as Rachel Dawes. A lot of people could prefer her to Katie Holmes, but I think Katie Holmes was slightly better, because I think she expressed the character's interests a little bit more. But don't get me wrong, I did like Maggie Gyllenhaal in this movie. And of course, Heath Ledger as the Joker. Now, I've seen quite a few comic book movies, the Spider-Man movies, the X-Men movies, Fantastic Four movies, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, all them. And I have to say that this movie has the best villain I've ever seen. The Joker, Heath Ledger. Rest in peace, by the way. I think that he created a really good, dark, sadistic, and sometimes even humorous, but in the right places and ways, character that I think Jack Nicholson failed to do in Batman. Even though I've not seen the full movie, from what I've seen of the Joker, I saw one little clip when he was shooting somebody, and he was just too funny. He wasn't even menacing. I didn't find him interesting at all. I wish that they'd probably just killed him off. I don't know. But anyway, Heath Ledger as the Joker was really phenomenal to watch. Now, acting-wise done, I think that this movie, obviously The Dark Knight, it's a superhero movie, it's meant to be choreographed and engineered for action sequences, and many of which I thought were really, really good. I was entertained throughout most of them. And particularly, what I loved about The Dark Knight in terms of action was the music, that whenever the Joker was on the scene, the music that was used by Hans Zimmer. Many people who don't know him, he did Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3, which I thought were really great. And he did a terrific job on making the music have a slow build, well, not slow, but like a build-up, and then the payoff is really great. The music's used throughout the film, and it's really great to watch. And also the payoff is great. It's a good action sequences. It has you hooked. I think it had me hooked into it the minute it started. particularly when the action sequences were between Batman and the Joker, they were really well done and fun to watch. And I really think that, if there was an award for best action sequences, I think this would be a strong contender for it. Anyway, now, what else is there to say? Obviously, there was lots of camera angles and shots that were developed well in this film. Some camera angles, they were quite high shots or low shots or point of view shots, whatever. And one scene particularly where Batman is chasing the Joker, who is also chasing Harvey Dent, throughout Gotham City. It's around about the middle of the movie, and that scene was really, really well shot because there was some bird's eye views, you could say, from helicopters' points of view, and it was really great to watch, considering how you saw the chase scene as it was going. But it was great to see who was following who. How the Joker was following, Harvey Dent, how Batman was following the Joker. The action sequences were great. Like I've said before, while repeating myself, well choreographed and everything. Now, a lot of people might ask me, was there any flaws I think that was wrong with it? One thing I think that was wrong with it, although it was just a minor thing, it didn't affect my enjoyment of the movie really. I think that Rachel Dawes' character could have been involved in the film a little bit more. She could have been a bigger part of the story. I didn't think she was given enough room to thrive or really do something with her character. So I think that they could have done that a little bit better. But other than that, I really enjoyed this movie, and also, the movie displayed some great messages about how corrupt can you get when your inner self. Will you fight temptation or will you give into it? And the Joker displayed that temptation really well, and you'll know what I mean if you've seen the movie. And the ending as well. A lot of people probably didn't like the ending, but I think it was great, and I am begging that Christopher Nolan directs a third Batman movie. Even if it isn't quite as good as the first two, I still think it's worthy of a final film, just to complete the trilogy and have a great story in mind. But anyway, that could happen in a couple of years. So my overall rating of The Dark Knight, since I rate movies out of 5, I believe that this movie deserves easily a 5. And since it's my first review, it may seem like I'm going over the top, but I really loved this movie from beginning to end. Phenomenal, outstanding, fantastic, great. The word just can't describe what I think of this movie. It was so fantastic. And by the way, the second time I saw it, it was in IMAX. I went with one of my family members to see it in IMAX. Now, anyone who saw this movie in IMAX, I think should appreciate the movie, because not to say they don't, but I appreciate the movie in IMAX even more because the sound system was great, the action was stunning to watch, particularly on a ginormous screen in front of your eyes, and also the shots that were used with IMAX cameras makes you look like you're really, really there, and it was just really thrilling to watch. So that's my overall review of The Dark Knight. I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully sometime I can do another movie review. Don't know what movie it'll be, but I'm pretty certain I'll get to do another review sometime. So overall, 5 out of 5, The Dark Knight, fantastic movie. Hope you go and see it, and if you do, hope you enjoy it. And goodbye, till next time, signing out.